I'm going to show you this makeup look from scratch today. I've used a mixture of new things that I wanted to try and old favourites. And I feel like this video is a really good trust the process, because at the beginning I thought I'd have to write the whole thing off. It was looking terrible. And now I feel like I've pulled it out of the bag. So I hope you enjoy. Today I've got a mixture of things that I wanted to try for the first time and a few things that I've had for ages. Something I'd just love to remind you of on the top of the video. I'm going to start, by the way, with the Yepoda Make My Day cream. I'm trying a good few things from these at the moment and they're really nice. Something I think it is always like no harm to remind you of is that when I make these videos, often I'm trying something for the very first time to see how it wears through the day, and sometimes it'll be something that I've known and loved for years or whatever, but unless I'm really specific and going on about something for whatever reason, just take everything with a pinch of salt, because I never want you to feel when you're watching that I'm suggesting that you need to buy every single thing that I've used. It's really just meant to be a bit of a little switch off. It's my little switch off anyway. I was just in the middle of my day and I thought, you know, I just want half an hour. I'll put some makeup on. I know it's been a little while since I've done a longer video. And I thought essentially we could have our lunch break together. I think I've got a fly in here with me as well. I've just heard him. So if there's a bit of background noise, that'll be why. So I'm having one of those days today. Oh, by the way, I'm going to use the Sculpted by Aimee Brighten Up Energising Eye Cream that literally just came yesterday. I think it launches today or this week, but I'll have a little look. And it's this kind of applicator, but just because I haven't used it before, I'm going to go for the back of my hand, lovely gel texture, and just use my ring finger so that I know what kind of consistency it is and I don't put too much on before I do my eye makeup. So today, I think I was telling you the last time, basically I've had an unwell family member, been caring for them. We've had a really full-on little patch, and so I'm really behind on my emails. Day to day I've kind of been like troubleshooting the main ones but missing the majority of them for a couple of weeks. So I had a big admin morning that I'm just kind of halfway through, and you know when like every single email is, I'm so sorry for my late reply, or I just feel like I've had my tail between my legs all morning. So I thought I'd have a little makeup switch off and then I can go back to it, and I just need 5 minutes away from my own guilty conscience. It's a really hard one as well, because like, you know, in that split second, you could have answered it in 2 minutes and put them out of their misery, but it doesn't always work like that when you're juggling a million things, does it? But anyway, oh, do you know what I'm going to use today? I'm using the CC Natural Matte. So you know how I always use the CC cream? I always tend to use the original one, which is full coverage and quite dewy. This one dries to more of a matte finish. And I'm using as well today some more of these Morphe brushes that I want to try. These are the ones with that antibacterial technology in them that I was telling you about the other week. And it's basically just, they've been designed to stay as sterile as possible. You still have to wash them as usual, but there is a technology built into them to keep everything as hygienic as possible. So as you can see, this dries to more of a, I like to say it's like an eggshell finish almost, because it's not super matte. There's still like an element of creaminess to it. But if you're someone that is oily, I think of the CC creams, this would be your favourite one, because it has slightly different properties. The skincare base of this is slightly different also. There is an ingredient in here called Energising, which is a kind of blurring ingredient. And this has a slightly longer wear at 16 hours. I speak to a lot of people that use this one for work, and it's the one that you can kind of throw on, something down my back, and forget all about it because it lasts really well. I wear this one often if we have an IT event day, because the last thing you want, I think I was telling you this the other week, like if you're meant to be at an event and helping people to choose the right makeup, you want your own makeup to be in place and looking nice and polished all day. So this is my one that I'll wear to make sure that nothing moves around. So I'm using the shade Fairlight, and I used my tanning drops last night. So that's why it's probably a tiny bit more fair than my complexion, but that is because my complexion is a little bit warmer. And funnily enough, I used this a couple of days ago, and I remember when I filmed it thinking, gosh, this looks warm on me, but I hadn't used my drops yet. So you can see quite quickly the difference. That was a lovely brush. That is the Cream and Liquid Bronzer brush, M242. I'll write everything in the description as always. So, nice little base all over. I'm not going to go too crazy today because, as I say, I'm in the middle of a load of stuff, so I need to get back to it. But I just want to have a little play around. I am wondering which bronzer to use. I'm going to use, no, I'll use this one. I'm going to use the No. 7 Pro Artist Stick. I've used a few things now from this collection and it's so, so nice. Basically, No. 7 have brought out these. Is that going to be too fair? I think it is, you know. Let me pick it up with the brush. That's lovely for me if I haven't got tan on and stuff. But because this is so full coverage, it's too fair. I'll use that one another day. I will switch to my Sculpted by Aimee one. No. 7 have basically brought out some more artistry inspired products. And they're really, really lovely, really easy to use. This is the Sculpted by Aimee liquid, what are these called? Liquid lights. Really easy to use, really creamy, and just a bit more sophisticated than probably what we've been used to. Now, this could actually be trouble because the formula of the CC is so much more velvety. It dries and sets, and I'm now putting a cream on top of that. No, I feel like we've got away with that actually. And sometimes it's quite nice to show those moments, because when that first went on, I was thinking, oh, I might have to remove something or build over it and start again. And I think we all have those moments when we're doing our makeup. But actually, sometimes it's just like a tweak of your technique, or like I know now for next time, I should probably apply these two things a bit closer together so that the CC hasn't had time to set properly. But I'm just going to pat this around the hairline. There we go, that's looking a lot more natural now. I don't want to put too much on because I don't want it to look artificial. I just kind of want to bring out the high points of my face. And I also think, because I'm going for slightly pinky, peachier colours, they always sit that bit more, what is the word I'm looking for, gracefully, if you have a slightly warmer complexion. What I mean by that is they can end up looking less theatrical when you have these kinds of things on the rest of your face that look a bit more natural. Whereas if I hadn't layered all of this, and you know how fair I am, the pink would probably look super, super pink. Whereas because it's on a bit more of a sun-kissed complexion, I feel like it'll look a bit more of a golden pink. And I'm just going to sweep the excess of that over here to just tie that all in. Right, I'm going to go in now with this palette of like a soft dusky brown, some pinky goldy champagnes, and we'll have a little play. Do you remember I told you a little while ago? In fact, sorry, before I do that, I'm going to line my waterline first with like a fleshy, this is kind of a soft pink fleshy colour actually from Wonderskin. And I'm going to do the lower lash lines. If you have a liner in a colour that isn't too dissimilar from your complexion, it can help to brighten the eye area and knock out any red and just bring everything to life a bit. That, when I put some darker colour under here, is going to make everything pop. Do you remember I told you ages ago that sometimes I'll be in the middle of a video and I'll think, something's just not going right today, I'm not going to bother putting it up. I've got those heebie-jeebies at the moment, but I'm going to just persevere. I feel like, if anything, they're the days that you need to put your video up, because if this ends up looking nice and I've started it thinking, what's going on here, I don't know what I've done, but it's just not coming together, then when it does, we will be reassured that even if it starts off a bit skew-iff, it can all be okay. And already now I'm looking at this thinking, we are getting somewhere and it really might be okay. I think as well, those kind of feelings probably just come when you're having a bit of a, not a wobbly day, but I am having a bit of a, oh God, I've let everyone down, I'm late responding, you know, those things feed into how you're feeling, don't they? And don't get me wrong, everyone is understanding. I've had loads of lovely, like, don't worry about it, thanks for letting us know. Now, this is the matte colour that I am just taking through the socket to begin with. I'm kind of using this to map out the parameters of where I can ideally go to, what my boundaries are. If I go any further or wider, I'd want to stop. But this is going to be my colour to frame the eye, and then I'll use all of my bolder colours in and around this. So I'm just kind of letting myself have a big play with this one. And then with the same brush, I'll just buff off the excess. I'm going to take the more champagne-y kind of colour, go under these brow bones. Now I know that's come up quite peachy and golden, but I feel like in the full context that will look softer. Can you hear that fly? There we go. I'm going to go in now with that kind of cranberry colour. I love these kinds of colours. And to reduce the risk of any drop down, I'm just going to use my ring finger. Now this will be quite interesting because my nails are a bit longer than usual at the moment. So I hope this still works nicely. That's lovely and pigmented, isn't it? I'm going to get this as far in as I can, and then I'll use some of it on a brush to blend it out. So we don't need this to be super perfect. Really all we're doing here is getting it on the eye, and then we'll sort the rest in a minute. And the nice thing about using powders is these won't, like, they're not going to set on me or dry. I can play with these as much as I need to until they're nice and evenly blended. So, did you watch The Replacement on Netflix? I love Vicky McClure so much, and when we finished it, I was like, I just want to keep watching Vicky McClure now. So me and my mum have started Line of Duty again, and the first season is obviously set in Birmingham, so that's been really nice. We just finished the first season last night, so we'll be starting the second season this evening. My friend is watching it as well with his partner, and he's never seen it before. So we're both like texting each other going, which bit are you on now? The thing with Line of Duty as well, I think I've seen it twice or 3 times all the way through, but obviously it's been on for years, and I'm a big rewatcher anyway. I love rewatching things. I'm actually finding with it that it's easier to follow now that I've watched it this many times, because there is so much that you have to remember, and like, because there's so many clues even in season 1 to do with the ending, you really have to have your wits about you for every single second of it. So I think I'm enjoying it more on what is probably my 3rd watch. So if you were just looking for something a bit different, and I mean, if you've never seen it, I really can't recommend it enough. I think it's so fab. Do you remember, I feel like it must have been lockdown days, Laura Capon, she used to do her Line of Duty video every week, and it was Line of Beauty. And then she made that MAC palette with all the shades that she'd renamed them for the characters. I'm gonna have to try and dig that out again. I might actually scroll back through that poor girl's page back to 2020 or whenever that will have been and find that, because it was absolutely brilliant. I feel like there was quite a community of us that were absolutely loving that. I love that red. I actually was going to put some on the bottom. One part of me doesn't want to, and another part of me wants to just, you know how I was saying that liner will pop if I put something underneath. I might just put a tiny bit underneath. I'm layering another little layer of the Cranberry now on a flat brush, just to pack the pigment so that the lids are really pigmented, and then we soften out into nothing. And by the way, what I had on this brush was just a little bit of that Cranberry colour, not loads, so that I had something to blend it into that soft brown. I'm really tempted to leave the eyes at the bottom. No, let's put some on. See, look how nicely this is turning out now. I'm so glad I ignored my own gut instinct of, what are you doing here? This is a terrible video, and carried on. It's a really bright day as well, and bright days are better for filming. Like, I bet you can see a bit more texture and stuff in my skin than usual, which is always nice. I just think it gives so much more realistic of an impression of what your makeup will sit like if you know, try that texture or colours or anything like that. So lovely. Right, I'm going to go for some really simple bits. I've just realised I had a load of complexion stuff here I was going to show you, but I'll show it to you another day. You know how there's such a trend at the moment for pinks and brightening things? I had some pink brightening things to show you, but I think in all honesty, it'll all be a bit too much now because I've got so much eyeshadow on and I've already got such a full coverage on. I'll try that on a day when maybe I'm going for everything a bit softer, and you can really see the impact of that thing on its own. And then here, if you've ever tried the IT Cosmetics Brow Power Pencil, which is such a great universal crowd pleaser, what I also really love about this pencil is it's quite waxy and it will cling to skin as well as hair. So if you have areas of your brows that are a bit more sparse, it will help you to fill them in. This is the micro version, so the tip is a lot thinner, and it just means that if you want a bit more of a natural hair-like finish, it's really good for helping you to achieve that. Oh, and by the way, I said it the other day, IT Cosmetics this week, at the time of me making this video, it's the 27th of March 2025. I say that because sometimes, which is really nice, all of a sudden you can have an old video getting comments on it and things, and you think, what's gone on here? And then for some reason that has become popular again. But they have 25% off at Boots this week. So if there was anything you were thinking of topping up or wanting to try, really good time to do so. So the next thing I want to show you, these are so lovely, is a Cheek Thrills blush palette from Morphe. They have them in all different shades, and I'm going to use these kind of peachy goldens today. These are a cream, a balm and a powder. So depending on the kind of finish you're looking for or what kind of thing you like to wear, you've got loads of different things to choose from. I might try, this is a Vieve cream cheek brush. I'm going to start with a bit of this on the brush and just press this. Is this too pink, given I've gone for the pink eyes? More than likely, but we've done it now. So this is the cream blush at the very top. Now again, a bit like those brightening products, if I didn't have such an eye on, I would likely use this all over and use all of the steps, but I think it'll be too much because we want the eyes to be the main thing we're focusing on today. So instead, I'm just going to use that to give my skin a bit of a flush. And then let's put some lips on, and then I'm going to go back and do my mascara because it's a new mascara and I might post that as a separate little video. Oh my gosh, do you know what I'm going to use actually as well? Let me do my lips and then we'll come back and finish the eyes. So I have got a KIKO liner that I can't see the name of, and I'll write it down in the caption. Nice kind of pinky rosy shade for my liner. I do already have on some Clarins lip oil. That is one of those products that everyone talks about and it's viral, and I've seen a million adverts for it and all of this, and I just feel like I see it everywhere. I only tried it for the first time a couple of weeks ago. It's just as good as everyone says. It is actually lovely. I really, really like it. But anyway, I'm gonna do my pinky liner. I have to say, for affordable makeup that is genuinely lovely, KIKO have some absolutely lovely things. Like, how nice is that? I'm weighing up whether to soften that a bit or leave it sharp. Let me put my lipstick on and then I'll see. And I'm going to use a little Vieve lippy. I remember putting this to one side thinking it was a lovely shade and never touched it, of course. So here we are. It's the shade Nightie. Now that to me is the perfect kind of shade to go with these eyes, because I still feel like I've got something on. Really beautiful colour actually. Still feel like I've got something on. It still feels polished, but I don't feel like it's taken away from that eye at all. So absolutely love that. I clearly put that aside for the right reasons. So let's have a play with this. I also have something else I need to show you, but hang on, I've got a cat hair somewhere here. When I went to Salem in February, I was at Danessa Myricks for ages. I could have got everything there, to be fair, but loads of stuff was out of stock, probably because everyone loves it. And I got this Twin Flames Multichrome pigment in the shade Lust. Let me just, I hope you can, oh, there we go. Like, how amazing is that? So I think rather than go over my shadow, I'm just going to put some of this in the inner corners. And then I'm just going to press that in using a little flat brush. Do you know what? I wish you could see that up close. I'll show you on the back camera when we're finished. That is just so lovely in the natural light. It really picks up and it's super glittery, but it's only that tiny little bit. I absolutely love it. And then last but not least, this just came this morning, so I'm going to try the Lancome Flutter extension lashes. That is really lovely. The wand is really small. You can get right into the lashes. It doesn't look like I've made any spills on my upper lashes, which I usually would because I like a big brush. And I feel like it deposits loads of pigment right at the root so that you're not getting clumps further down. I mean, Lancome in general are very, very good at mascaras. They really do a beautiful job of them. There we go. That is really nice. And actually, it's a nice warm day today. I know I've got a jumper on, but I'm sat by the window. It is a nice warm day today, so it's a good chance for me to see whether that'll smudge, because I'll definitely be a bit warm. So I'll let you know how it wears. I might just set this with a bit of mist. I'm going to use the Elemis Superfood Mist. And that just, for me, that'll set down in a minute, but it takes the set look out of your makeup and just makes it look a bit fresher and dewier. And also, because I know I'm naturally quite dry, I find that having a mist, especially when I'm at home like I am today, it just means that nothing will set into dry areas and it keeps everything a bit fresher. And one thing I will say, I'm going to make a separate video about this because I had 2 features come out last week that I need to share with you. One of them is a guide to the best BB creams and the other one is a full list of product recommendations for rosacea. Both of these were for the indie best. When I was trying the BB creams, there was a few times where I'd have read about the BB cream, whichever one I was trying, be all these hydrating ingredients, and it'd come up really dry on me. And I hate to say this, but I say this from my own personal experience. If you have a base that is designed to be really hydrating and really comforting and creamy and all of that, and it's coming up dry on you, it could be that you need to exfoliate, and that is always the case for me. So I have to be really careful with what I can exfoliate with. There is an Ella & Joe liquid exfoliant that works really well for me, doesn't flare up my rosacea, but allows me to exfoliate. But I am so sparing, like I only do it when I need to. That could be every few weeks, it could be more than a month since I did the last one. Like I really play it by ear and I don't do that as often as I can get away with. But basically then, you exfoliate, you go back to the same BB cream, lo and behold, it sits completely differently. It's not dry. It was that your skin was a bit dry before. So all of that to say, what the mists do for me as someone that is more dry is they help to keep my makeup nice and stop it from gathering in any dry bits and making my face look dry. And another thing, while I'm generally having a chat with you, that I meant to say, thank you so much if you voted for me in those CeraVe awards. I found out yesterday I haven't been shortlisted, but it honestly means the world that you would vote for me. And I feel like I was saying a little while ago, like you only see the highlights reel or you only see the good stuff. And I feel like I'm so glad that, like, it doesn't always work out, but that's just as important to share as anything, because I'm really happy I put my hat in the ring, and I definitely wouldn't have been shortlisted if I hadn't even tried. Do you know what I mean? But I'd so many lovely people write and say, oh, I've nominated you, and it really means the world. So thank you so much if you did that for me. That really gave me a big boost. But anyway, I need to go back and continue to apologise to everyone I've completely ignored. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you for watching. And also, I'm getting a bit, you know how I get paranoid about which colours to use together? And I always am like, what? Like, I get so overwhelmed by colours. I have so many ideas, I don't know where to begin. If there's any particular colours of eyeshadow you really want to see, please let me know, because I did have a look through when I was trying to figure out what to do today. I thought, what have I been doing recently? And I'll do something a bit different. And I seem to be in some sort of like mushroom brown, Stockholm syndrome time, which is not helpful to anybody. Like, there's a million of those online. So this kind of colour now, I'm really glad I did. But if there's any colours in particular you want to see, please let me know. Let me also just show you. I've been wanting this for years and it's a real investment. So I've always thought like, oh, should I, shouldn't I? And then, because I'm watching The White Lotus at the moment, and Bex, the makeup artist, has been putting up her breakdowns of everything she'd used. She had used these glitters on Aimee Lou Wood, who is now my favourite person. I want to watch that girl in everything. And I just had to treat myself. It's the Lemonhead Space Case. Now, am I out of focus? There we go. This is a Pro Artist palette with all the glitters in it, but they sell a lot of the glitters individually. I'm going to do some mega filming with this. I mean, to be honest, we could literally do a video just working through every single glitter, couldn't we? There we go. We've answered the colour question, haven't we? So yeah, expect things to get really quite glittery around here. And also, because I'm going to a lot of festivals this year, I booked lots of different festivals for myself. First of all, because I wanted to go, but I want to make more music themed content in general. So I thought I could speak to people at the festivals, see who they're going to see why they love them, that kind of thing. So I'm going to need all the glitter for those, and it'll be nice to have a little play and figure out which ones go nicely together. But anyway, how have we been going on for this long? We, like you've had even a word in edgeways. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll chat to you soon. This is the makeup on the back camera, by the way. Do you know how I wanted to show you like the little highlight? How lovely is that?